Okay, wind turbine build. So, full disclosure, I actually already built the wind turbine, but I'm an idiot and I forgot to push the record button. So, this is attempt number 2. As you can see, we have the Sustainable Orange hoodie, as modelled by me, available on the Etsy store. If you're interested, you want to support the channel, then please jump over there and you can purchase a hoodie, there's t-shirts, there are canvas bags, and there is a biodegradable phone case available as well. All sustainable products made from recycled materials. Okay, let's go.
The very first job I had was to swap over the charge controllers. As part of the warranty replacement, Tesup had sent me a replacement charge controller as well. In theory, this was just as simple as unplugging the old one and putting the new one in its place. In terms of wiring, there's no differences, it's just a case of disconnecting the 3-phase input and the DC output. Then we remove the screws from the brackets. So comparing the units side by side, the only visual difference was in the dump loads at the top of the unit. All the connections were the same, all the buttons, all the dials, absolutely identical. Having swapped over to the new unit, it was as simple as connecting the 3-phase input and the DC output again. And this time I wasn't going to connect the brackets with screws through the side of the unit. I was going to just hold it in place with some tape until I'd done some testing. This was of course much easier said than done due to the fact that I have not left myself quite enough cable on the armoured 3-phase input. So I just finished up by securing the charge controller with a little bit of electrical tape. Obviously this isn't the final fixing, but this is perfect for testing. Right, onto the actual wind turbine build, and this is a list of all of the tools that I used during the course of the build.
So, first things first, I suspect we're going to need the stand. So, we have 3 legs. The legs all have holes at different points drilled into the back of them. And the corresponding upper leg has a matching hole, so these ones are both drilled in the middle. So to start off with, we're going to be putting the legs together on the hinge, which is these small bolts here. And we can just do these finger tight to start with. One thing to note, these bolts are not particularly the right length. As you can see, they stick up quite a bit. Yeah, so there's one leg. So I'll be building the kit exactly as is to start with, and then we'll work out where we go from there. So, all in all, this kit's actually pretty easy to build. Don't really think you need any special instructions to do it. So we won't nip those up until the end. So starting with the base of the tower, it's got these extra holes at the bottom here. And what happens is these align with these. So we need to find the hole that's drilled at the highest for this particular piece, which will be this one here, and line it up with that.
I had actually aligned this with the wrong holes at this point.
We're going from the bottom holes here to the middle holes. believe. Damn it. Right, so that one to there, that one to there. Like I said, I'll leave this finger tight because we're going to need to level it at the end. Best to use an Allen key for tightening these, and a ratchet wrench. Okay, so we have a stand. Probably want to nip up these top ones now. So, stand, 3 bolts through there, 3 bolts through there, and then we have the first section, which uses a joiner like this, and this just drops in like so. 2 of the large bolts to go in there. Again, would be nice to see some washers, but or nylock nuts to stop any movement. The holes here are really quite large, so probably going to want nipping up quite tightly. That's nice and solid. Not overly keen on the base so far. It's a little bit of wobble in it. Not sure how much adjustment that actually has, but I guess we'll find out. Okay, so middle section of this will go on here, like so. Again, another 2 bolts. Let's try next one in. There. Next 2 bolts. Okay. And then the top section. I'm going to have to drop this to the floor now. Final 2 bolts. And that's the pole together. You can tell it's the top of the pole here because we've got the grommet for the cabling to come through and the 2 holes that mount to the base of the turbine. Now there is a collar for that somewhere, which I've been measuring. And so the collar just sits in there, and then we put the screws through here for the turbine. So I guess the next job will be to actually put the turbine together. So we have a tail pole and what appears to be a stabilizer. And this just slides into there. So there's a groove cut in the end of that, and this just slides in like so. And we have two of the same size bolts here. These have nylock nuts and washers on them though, I noticed, so see how that works. There we go. That's held nice and tight, it's not going anywhere. That's the tail fin done. So, next item, turbine itself. One thing worth noting is to check the bolts are done up along here, because on mine a couple of these are not actually being done up. Now then, the next job is going to be actually getting cabling through the grommet here, which I suspect will not be that much fun. Now probably the easiest way to do this would be to pull a piece of string through, but that is probably easier said than done. I wonder if I've got anything I can use as a pull cord. Some cable and some electrical tape, I think, is probably going to be the best option. Just putting a bit of cable through. We'll take these and we will just tape them on, and then we'll pull them through with that cable through the grommet. I think that's probably the easiest way of handling these. There we go, that's simple. We'll leave that taped on for now, just in case. We need to align the spline with the holes. Okay. Hardest bit's getting these holes lined up. I suspect once we do, it should just slide up there. And then we can just use an Allen key just to align the holes nicely. And then drop the bolts in. We can just finger tight these to start with. Okay, once these are in, we can just nip them up with the driver. It's going to be the slightly larger of the two bits. Okay, and in theory, that should be that. Should be able to stand this up now. The last piece of the puzzle is going to be getting the tail fin on. So this is just a single bolt. And it goes like that. Okay. Again, no washer on this one, just a regular bolt all the way through. There we go. quite a bit of play in the pole, even if I stand on it. That's not ideal. There's quite a bit of movement here and here and here and here. That's not great. So there's that, and we have a nose cone. It's threaded, so that's going to thread onto there once the blades are built, which conveniently I did earlier. As you can see, these are rather large. So when I'm outside, that will mount on there. These are really straightforward to do up. Just a single back piece, 4 screws in here, 3 screws in here. As you can see, all of the threads stick out the back. We just want to make sure the windward side is as clean as possible. And yeah, so that will go like that. And I must say, this does look an awful lot more waterproof or weatherproof than the Atlas 4 did. But yeah, so that will go on there once we can get it outside. Problem I have now is this pole, I wouldn't say is fit for purpose on a 7-metre tower. Might be fine for ground standing, but I just don't think it's going to be safe enough. So I think I'm going to have to mount it on either a scaffolding pole or something similar. So probably something like this. And I'm going to order myself a 3-metre one that I can clamp very, very securely to the tower. However, this is nowhere near wide enough for the bush, the top bush there. Top bush is about a 45mm internal diameter, and this is only, I think, a 48mm. Yeah, 48.8, I think, millimeter outer diameter, and with a 4.5mm wall, I would say. Yeah, 4.5mm wall. So standard scaffold pole is not going to provide what we need unless I can somehow get this on a lathe and cut it down. So that's going to be an interesting one to solve. But otherwise, that's the end of the build.
I really hope that you found this build useful, and that if you're considering getting a turbine, you get in touch and maybe drop a comment on the video. Now, unfortunately, I still haven't resolved the mounting solution for the Atlas at this point, and whatever I do has to be safe. The last thing I need is a wind turbine falling on a child's head. So we need to have a really, really solid mounting option available before this can go up 7, 8, 9 meters in the air. So keep following, and I will keep you guys updated as we go along with the build. I spent the weekend just gone at Fully Charged Live South in Farnborough, and so just want to say thank you to those of you that came up and said hello at the event. It was really lovely to meet those of you that have been following, and really appreciate the feedback and the positive comments. Had some really great conversations over the course of the weekend, saw some really incredible products, and some of those I will be trying to feature on the channel in future videos. Obviously we have our Discord community which is available to our Patreons, and obviously I want to thank my Patreons that have been supporting me throughout this process. If you can, drop a like on the video, it's much appreciated. Hit the subscribe button because only about 10% of you are subscribed at this point, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.